Here we are, guys. We are live here on the flat doing a little topwater. We were about to call this how not to go topwater fishing. I'm Joe Simons, Lake Diamonds, with my brother Lukey. And what's that, a nice trout?
I wouldn't say a nice one, but it's a trout.
It's a trout. We'll take it. So we came out here
on the board
2 weeks ago when Cody was out from surgery. We came out here, just did some fun topwater fishing. And of course, we nailed the perfect tide. We nailed the it was almost ideal conditions. Got some clouds, a little bit of wind. And so, hey, let's go recreate that. And we did obviously look at the tides, and we knew it was a completely full moon last night.
Yeah, tides are great. It's the no wind and it was clear skies all night long.
Perfect, beautiful night. I mean, you can see here, if you're watching, there's not even a cloud in the sky. It's just a beautiful day. We call it bluebird skies. And and the troll motor broke.
Trout.
So it's like everything's going against us. So we got one trout on the board. I just had a hit there. And I just did what you're not supposed to do, which is pull back and try to set the hook. Oh, look at all that bait scurrying up. Look, it's falling all the way up. Hit it again. Whoa. You see that, Cody? Oh my goodness. It followed all the way up to the boat. It's another good lesson on topwater. Is keep reeling all the way. It feels like a ladyfish there.
No, it looks like a trout. Yeah, you only set the hook on feel, not on sight.
JoJo is on, baby.
Another small trout. Yeah, that's the worst thing to do is set it when you see it. Wait till you feel it on the line before you set that hook.
And so we're both using the little Spook Junior. I've got treble hooks on here, which I hate, but we've had a lot of people who have been asking about. Oh, there you go, quick release. So sometimes, even with treble hooks, you do get a quick release. But a lot of people have been saying, hey, I see you guys use these single inline hooks. Let me move this rod for you here, Cody, so it's not in the way. Look at that frog on there, old bass frog. We'll try that out later. But a lot of people say, hey, I feel like I'm going to be missing out on fish by having the inline hooks. And we have found that not to be true, meaning we're still getting as many fish, and you actually usually get bigger fish, right? Luke, you missed some of these small ones, and you can't even pretend to argue it's not better for the fish, because we've all seen what happens if you get that fish that inhale. Ooh, can you see that out there, Cody? Zoom in on my topwater out there. So we're finally in an area where there's at least some trout, some activity. Notice there's the birds around, right, guys? The 3 Bs. Birds, we saw some bait over here, which is why we pulled over. And dead ahead in front of me, Cody, if you can see this, look at all those birds out there. Is it dead low tide?
No, it's probably mid-tide now.
Mid-tide now? So much I know about this area.
But yeah, what Joe was saying is you're skipping topics pretty quick, but on the treble hook versus inline hook, it's an important...
Kind of what I do.
It's an important thing. So the inline hooks, they're called single inline replacement hooks, and they're 100% safer for us, right?
Oh, Luke just had a hit.
So instead of, that's a bigger trout. We'll just go through this inline. So the inline hooks, you do miss some of the fish. So you miss the smaller fish, which in my opinion is good. It's a good thing. But then when a bigger fish comes and gets it, right? If any fish grabs this lure, it's going to get hooked. And so I've had multiple situations where like a little ladyfish or a trout, like a real small trout, is just popping out the lure, and they miss. And then a bigger fish sees the commotion, right? And it's an easy decision for it to go up and steal an easy meal. And I've caught some of my biggest fish because of that, because the smaller fish have a little bit tougher time getting hooked, which is a good thing in my opinion. And then the bigger fish, when they actually eat it, they get hooked every time. Like if a fish takes it down, they're not going to get two sharp single hooks, not hitting pay dirt somewhere.
So what I've also noticed, you guys watching just saw it, I've been getting like double the amount of weeds. All of a sudden my topwater not doing the movement that I want to with these treble hooks. If there are weeds around like there are right now, then you catch every bit of it, which is so frustrating.
Yeah, so
I've completely kills your chances of catching a fish.
Yeah, I've gone away from trebles altogether. After using them a few times, I'm totally sold on them.
And of course, if you have pets or kids, you definitely don't want those trebles. See, I got weeds every single time. Could we have picked a worse day? Come on now.
Yeah, and so the topwater bite, so it's best in the morning. So this is summertime, we're late summer right now. Topwater bite in the morning, like as the sun's coming up, is excellent. That's like the best time to do it. The worst time to do it is when the sun's up and there's clear skies, which if you look around now is our current situation. But so ideally, if you're using topwater this late after the sun's up, it would be a cloudy day. And right now the trolling motor's not working, so we're doing a drift. So I'm gonna have to turn the steering wheel, use the motor as a rudder. I wanna shoot down the edge of this flat. So we're just targeting trout now. We probably will not catch redfish or snook way out here on the flat, but there's a lot of trout out. And without the trolling motor, we just have to use the wind. And the motor, I just turn the motor so that we should shoot out to the left a little bit. And we're just gonna be just blind casting the outside edge of this flat. Something just waked right up there. And should catch some trout, probably see some sharks along the way, hopefully get a black tip come up and pop it. But never know what you're gonna get. It's really about covering ground.
And one reason that topwater gets worse as the day gets longer, especially in the middle of the day, is after reading The Scientific Angler, I think, or actually might have been Mark Soson's book about what fish see, but he talks about how fish have eyeballs just like us, right? And they don't like looking up in the sun any more than we do. And so, yes, it's still possible to get a fish to strike in the middle of the day on a topwater, but the chances are not in your favor because fish don't want to be looking up into that sun. I mean, they have eyes that are actually sensitive, just like ours when it comes to light. Holy smoke, something just came up and, oh, it almost hit me while I was sitting there talking, standing still. All right. Dang, Cody. But I thought that was pretty fascinating, and just makes you think a little bit differently what lures and what baits you're using based on the light. And that's why topwaters can, like last time, Luke, we were still having a tremendous bite on topwaters even at 9:30 because it was super cloudy and it wasn't as bright like it is right now with not a single cloud in the sky. Yep. Pretty fascinating. Talk about retrieval. Speed, how you're doing it.
Oh yeah,
left,
so
right.
I mean, these are kind of walk the dog plugs. So we're just doing small twitches, and it's just walking the dog. It's called walking the dog. The base of the lure goes from one side to the other, and since the bite's pretty slow or going pretty slow, right? Match the retrieve to the level of activity of the fish.
And I'm getting so many weeds.
And so basically doing some shorter motions, so it's not traveling too far, and then every once in a while give it a stop, and then a couple more twitches, stop, and so it's all about just trying to go fast enough to cover water while also going slow enough to get some strikes. So it's kind of a blend between the two. Again, ideally, right when that sun's coming up or even at night, I go a lot faster because those fish are more fired up. They're gonna hit it. They're gonna hit a fast retrieve. They're gonna actually chase down the bait. Just putting on a frog.
I'm going with the old bass frog. I am sick and tired of these treble hooks attracting so many weeds. So with this frog, this is not a walk the dog. This is, in most cases, just a kind of a straight retrieve on the top. Oh, Luke's on. Nice strike there.
Yeah, so we got out here on the outside of the flat. That trout came up and hit about 3 times. And I just kept retrieving. I didn't feel it. And then finally, the last one, I actually felt him on the line. So I gave just a short little hook set. You don't have to do anything fancy. This is a little bit bigger trout.
All right, we'll take it. And once again, Luke's using the single end line, getting less weeds and still getting tons of strikes.
Yep.
Whereas I'm sitting here with a bass frog, wondering what happened to my life.
Turn the
and
boat
where
down
things
a little
went
bit.
downhill.
Having to navigate the boat. As this one got hooked with we got a hold of the front. Oh, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
About to find out if trout like to eat frogs or not.
So we got the front, actually got 2 hooks right in them. Not his lucky day.
And that's that tried and true Zara. That's the Spook Junior, right, Luke? You got?
Yep. Get this guy off.
In that bone color. Can't go wrong with the whiter bone.
Right, there he goes. He's off.
Like our Slam Shady.
Yeah, this has been my go-to topwater. Little Super Spook Junior with size 1/0. These are size 1/0 owner inline hooks, and I've been really happy with it. Got many overslot reds and overslot snook with it. It catches a little bit of everything.
Big or small, it catches them all.
Still haven't landed a tarpon. I've jumped some tarpon with it, but still haven't landed one with it.
Now, one other trick, Luke has this other rod right there for a reason. That has a slam shady on it. And a lot of times, if you're using a topwater and you see the fish behind it, maybe they're striking it, maybe they're just kind of coming up and nosing up to it, and you just can't get them. Oh, there we go. Oh, I just missed one on that frog. Oh, no, it got him back on.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, frog lures work great. That's a bigger trout.
Heck yeah. All right.
Much bigger trout.
Dude, that's hilarious. Frog is on the board. Yeah, that's a nice trout. Come here, little buddy. Man, he inhaled that frog. Now I got to figure out exactly. Whoa! Holy smokes! That's not good. That's not good.
Joe.
I did not see that coming, Cody.
Yeah. So one thing. So a lot of times those. Ooh,
good looking trout. Let me get him back in the water.
I got a bird. Come on, bird.
Creepers.
Got a water turkey going after mine. So yeah, a lot of times those little frog lures work great because it's a straight retrieve. It gives just a little bit of commotion.
And this one has those dual hooks. That thing had swallowed it and somehow spit it out while I was trying to release them. So definitely that would not have been so quick with treble hooks. I do hate when fish are getting knocked around like that, but doggone. Better than hooking them 6 times down their throat.
This bird is...
I can't believe that thing spit that topwater out. All right, so far, biggest trout on the frog. So last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, we had had that little trout on, and right near the boat, and all of a sudden this big gator trout comes up and inhales it. I mean, bites down on the little trout. And so if you guys don't think that a trout are pretty much eating anything, including their own kind, you'd be wrong. And that was a big boy.
Yeah,
and he wanted every bit of that little baby trout.
Trout are aggressive. It's an aggressive fish. And this water turkey up here has been aggressive towards my topwater.
I know George, one of our insider members, said he's been having a lot of luck with that.
That bird
is aggressive. That's how realistic your bait looks. He's having a really good luck using a trout topwater. It's like a little baby speckled trout for trout.
Yeah, I mean, they have on the supers. They have a trout. Is it just a trout paint pattern? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I don't think fish are eyeing it that close. They're just seeing motion up there.
Oh, you trying to call fish dumb? Oh, I got a hit right there.
Yeah, because I mean, as far as like color selection, I mean, just think about it, right? The fish is underwater looking up, and pretty much mostly they just see a silhouette. So like I've tried a bunch of different colors, and so far I haven't really seen one that is just like amazing when anything else is terrible. So I just kind of I just keep it simple with white, right? Like just think about the bait fish, right? The bait fish that this is imitating. Pretty much all bait fish have white bellies, and that's generally what the fish are seeing most all when they're looking up, assuming they're not just seeing a silhouette. So I just go white, but a lot of people swear by different colors. Again, I've done testing where I'm throwing 2 different colors, and so far I haven't seen a situation where like only one works and the other one doesn't. So I think it's more about the motion, the retrieve speed and tempo is by far the most important variable.
I'll give you one tip too that helped me out when I first started using topwater. It's only natural, just like if you're a bass guy or gal and you all of a sudden start using circle hooks like live bait, it's natural to do the wrong thing. And I used to watch, just zone in, because it's cool. Just like seeing a cork go down, it's cool to see that explosion. And most of us, right away, the second we can either hear it or see it, we try to set the hook. And so what I started doing was make the cast, get it out there, and assuming I have something like a frog or I'm good enough where I know the retrieve is looking good in terms of presentation, I'll just look away. And you almost don't want to set in the hook until you actually feel something on there. It is so tough to do when you're watching a fish come up and destroy it.
It's way more fun to watch it.
It is more fun to watch
I watch it.
But if you're getting frustrated because you're missing them and you're setting the hook too fast, sometimes you just got to look away. Sometimes that's when the big ones explode on you. Whoa, what was that? A needlefish came up and...
This water turkey's out here just hunting down my, he's looking for it. I've never seen a water turkey. I guess they're called, I can't remember the actual term for their name. What was called water turkeys?
No, they're the...
cormorant, I think it is.
Cormorant. This guy's in, where is it in?
He's hunting me down.
Is it in Japan where they fish with those?
Oh yeah, I saw a video on that. They put like a ring around his neck.
Yeah, it's crazy. So they basically use these cormorant birds because they are probably some of the best hunters in maybe even deep water. I don't even know how deep they're fishing. And they do the hunting for them. And then for every 15 fish, they'll give them one to kind of keep them going. It's crazy. Yeah, that one guy's kind of famous. That one cormorant fisherman, he's got a whole big Instagram account.
Pretty sure there's an R in there. Cormorant?
Cormorant.
Silent R, maybe?
Someone can correct us. What happens, we're out here doing these things live. We don't have no encyclopedias, no Britannicas.
Oh,
we do have phones, but then that would force us to.
So I have a trout mess with me right now. Usually when they hit once, they'll hit more times and they'll follow it. Oh, there's a bonnethead. See if you can get that to hit the frog. So usually they'll hit more than one time. This one hit twice, and then he might have. Ooh, that'd be hilarious if that thing ate.
Let's see, we'll get the slam shady real quick.
Yeah, black tips will come up and hit topwaters pretty aggressively. I've never caught a bonnethead on topwater.
All right, Cody, let's see if we can get him to hit.
They will hit a slam shady if it goes right in their face.
He went right over him. Well, that's why it's always good to have a slam shady handy, because you just never know what's going to come by you. The Alabama leprechaun's done surprisingly well with those bonnethead sharks.
Yeah, that's been the best. That's been the one that they'll actually turn on and chase down. That's the only lure I've seen a bonnethead. God, now I gotta have a other bird going after me. Come on.
What happens when you have that realistic?
It's just making a lot of commotion.
Topwater pattern.
Yeah, so one thing as far as topwaters, I don't like it on calm water like this. We at least have a little bit of a kind of wind ripple in the water. So on calm days like this, I have a bullfrog lure. It's not that one, but it's one of my favorite just calm water topwaters. But in general, just subsurface is going to be better. This bird has finally lost the cormorant. Now I have this guy coming down and getting me.
You just can't win.
All right, we need to control our drift a little better.
Yeah, so we got clear, calm, beautiful days. Don't use topwater.
You still can, it's fun, but it's just gonna be tougher.
Don't rely on it. Although we got our boy Pat, one of our insider members, that guy kind of made a pledge that he never really used topwater, or if he did, it was just on occasion. He's like, I am going to become a master at it and only use topwater, regardless of the situation. And man, it's Pat Ogletree. He's dialing it in.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. And I think that's whoa, bird tried to dive on mine. That's the same with any kind of lure. That's how you get good. I mean, I remember for a while that's all I used was that old jerk shad, right? And then paddle tail. And that's one reason why slam shady is become such a popular lure across the country now is one, it's easy to use, it's easy to rig, and it's easy to master and kind of become your confidence bait. Works anywhere, works on any kind of species. We're up to like 78 species now.
Yep.
And it just does the job. And personally, maybe that's why I'm not doing as well with topwater, I'd rather just use the slam shady. And the higher the sun gets, the more I want to have a bait that's getting down, subsurface. Because then once again, these fish, just like humans, they got eyeballs. They don't have the eyelids and eyelashes we have, and hats and visors. They don't like to be staring up at the sun. They don't have sunglasses.
Yeah, did we talk about the tip on the second rod? So having a lot of times, especially on clear days like this, the fish aren't going to be aggressive, so they're going to come up and pop and miss.
I did talk about this, but it's good to be a repeater.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have. So I have this other rod with the Slam Shady, ready to rock. We're getting kind of bumped off the flat, so I'm turning the motor.
Troll motor also helps to have a trolling motor that works.
Yeah, troll motor's decided to cut off earlier today.
Never a dull moment when you're fishing. And that's what you're going to get with our Salt Strong Live podcast. No Hollywood wizardry. No high graphic.
Whoa, that bird almost got it.
Oh, you almost hooked a bird. That would have been pretty fun.
So yeah, trick dealing with these birds, these little white birds, I just go with a normal cadence, and they're going down right at the bait, and they have a hard time really adjusting quickly. So like literally once they're 2 feet away, I'll just do a quick reel down just to pull it like 4 feet pretty quickly, and they just never can catch it. So they'll dip down, they'll miss. That way you can still catch fish. Otherwise, you have to just totally wreck your whole retrieve. And sometimes they'll do it once or twice per cast, and then eventually they'll get tired of doing it and they'll go away. So I used to just be totally mad at the birds and they wreck my whole day, but now it's okay, it's kind of actually fun. You just barely, make sure they don't get it, but just pull it away quickly. As soon as they have to turn, you can start fishing, and in many cases, you'll get a strike at the turn.
Want to crank up the engine and go back closer to the edge? Look at all those birds over there, that's crazy.
There should be, with these birds hunting out here, there should be some fish. But
I'm just not getting squat.
Yeah, I think I'd like to go out and try to catch the slam, so I'll probably pick up the moose spots, or maybe even just switch to do some subsurface.
You had a hit there.
Yeah, that was a little guy.
Hey, we'll take it. I'm gonna go behind you with my frog. And see, with my frog, you notice I got the rod tip up. Not sure if that's the best way to do it. I'm sure some of you bass guys and gals can correct me. But I like that thing chugging away right there on top, making a big disturbance. Making some commotion, leaving a little wake, and hopefully attracting a big old gator trout.
Well, the interesting thing is you're doing the totally wrong retrieve for that frog, but it worked. So the key, a good lesson is just have a bait, make it move around on the surface, and a lot of times fish will hit it.
So what's the right way?
So that type of frog is actually designed to do walk the dog motion.
It is?
Yeah.
It doesn't really walk the dog well.
Yeah, that's what. Like the type that you do a straight retrieve has like little tails that kind of give a little bit of shimmer on the back.
It does have the tails.
Yeah, but it's not the one. That one's definitely for doing some walk the dog.
Huh? Yeah, because I picked up 2 of these frogs, and one definitely was said walk the dog, and this one did not. I think this one said a glider, so I assume glider meaning it's glide on top.
I'm thinking glide side to side is my guess.
Shows how much we know about topwater bass frogs. Yeah, see, it just doesn't look good. I don't know, if I was a fish, I'd want a frog that was just creeping. And I don't know. Cody, little reminder here.
Who uses frog lure? Who uses that frog lure? I'll be curious to see how they retrieve it.
Who's caught the biggest trout so far today?
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
So it's clearly...
And I had one other big strike. It was way out there, but I missed it.
Yeah, I think this bite is just this bird's on me again.
Yeah,
So he did it twice, and he's gonna get it on a third time, and he's done. So I used to just totally wreck the whole retrieve, and then as long as you're just paying attention, you'll make sure they never get it, and then they'll get tired of it pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're way off this flat now. Well, hopefully this was helpful. I say we cut it off, and then we'll go do a little bit more exploring. We try to keep all these podcasts in just one good, clean cut so you guys can see what it's really like on the water, even when we're struggling. And the lesson learned here is, we did not have a troll motor. We were just drifting, and now we're a lot further away on that from that drift pattern that we were on. And so we're going to start over again and move back a little bit closer.
And this wind's just too light, so I have the motor angled to kick us over, and the wind's just so light. We're just drifting uncontrollably right now.
Yep. Then also too, normally now that the sun is up, and it's about to be 9 o'clock. Most likely we'd start using a subsurface like a Slam Shady. But just to have a little bit more fun, we'll try these out a little bit longer. But just like anything, if you're in a spot like we have been for 10 plus minutes, you're not getting any strikes, time to kind of start moving a little bit. Now, if you're seeing fish and getting strikes, then it could be time to change it up with your lure, but in many cases, we'll just start moving back to where we knew we were having success. Fish are not going to change that much in a 15-minute period of time, and we had that one little area and that one depth, we were catching them. So hope that helps. We will have many more of these topwater ones. Next time we're gonna go get like the perfect conditions so you can see what a really fun day of topwater fishing is like. But this is proof, even without a trolling motor that works, and even on probably some of the worst conditions ever, you can go out here just on a flat in the middle of the bay, find some birds, find some bait, and get a topwater. And even if you have no idea how to retrieve your topwater, like I don't, with this frog, you can still have some success. And I get to go home with my head held high and tell my kids that I caught a big trout on a topwater frog that I had no idea how to use.
Yeah, it's proof that that the spot trumps the lure being used. So,
amen.
Oh man, I just had one.
Look at a hit on the slam,
On
shady,
Slam
baby.
Shady.
All right, guys, well, that's it. Also, on the shop page, we've been hearing from you guys, and especially you insider members who get 20% off everything there. Whoa! Oh man, I just had something explode behind mine. That's so funny. Doing the wrong retrieve again. It has been crazy. I talked to Pure Fishing yesterday. Pure Fishing is, one of the biggest brands out there. They're the ones that own Berkeley, so all the gulps are underneath them. Penn is underneath them, etc. And they said this is the craziest, most frustrating times in the history of their company. You can't get anything. And even right now, they have a container of all these Penn reels, and that's stuck. And even getting it in the customs. So it's like everything is just like against the industry, and we have more people now fishing than ever before with this COVID. So know that this lack of inventory and the lack of the ability to find rods and reels and even line and lures, it's affecting everyone. But the great news is all these companies have like container ships literally coming over right now. So you're going to see a whole lot more in the fourth quarter. It's going to get a whole lot better. I know we just got some Smith glasses on the page, and a lot of you have been asking about that. We had some Shimano reels were added. I know we got
Bull Bay rods.
We got some Penn. We got Bull Bay rods. We have all Andy Leader, Power Pro, a bunch of different lures. So it's starting to come in. I know we've got some St. Croix rods coming soon, TFO rods, which I'm using right now. And what else?
All of those super spooks, so we have a good amount of those.
Yep, a big thing of Daiwa reels are coming soon. So just know it's happening. And of course, as an insider member, you get 20% off. So you're not an insider member. Not only do you get, if you guys like this free stuff, great. This is just the stuff we put out there for free to the public. We save our best stuff, and we have now about 700 or so videos just for our insider members. And that's where we're actually getting on maps every week and showing you exactly where to go fish, where to go catch inshore slams based on the trends to avoid dead zones like this here now.
Let's get out of here. We're violating our rule.
Yeah,
so you shouldn't spend any more than like 10 minutes or so in an area where we're not catching anything. We're past that limit.
We were just closing.
Time to go.
So that's it, guys. Join us in the Insider Club. We'd love to have you. It's saltstrong.com. You can go learn more. And for you current insiders, thank you guys so much for all the love, all the support. It means a lot. Hold on, let me.
I want to see it. I want to use it.
Oh, okay. Check that guy out. It's a little soft-bodied frog, and so when the fish chomps down on it, that's when the hook set goes in.
Yeah, it's definitely not meant for a straight retrieve, but it works.
We'll take it. All right, guys, we out. We'll see you on the next podcast episode. Peace.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace, all by yourself or with your family. Live salt strong and wear the line today.